evening, freaks. I'm here to give Scorpio an eclipse season predictions read straight from the hip with lots of lift. And we are going to be looking at the energies in play, what's coming towards you, what the work is to be done, how things will be evolving as we move through this eclipse season cycle, which got kicked off on 420 with that double Aries new moon. It was further intensified with the Scorpio full moon, penumbral lunar eclipse. It came in on the 5th of this month. That action actually went down in the constellation of Libra. Okay, so there is definitely this Libran influence in play. We are gearing up to the changing of the guards. Scorpio will be sliding into Libra. That south node point of destiny once we hit July, okay? And we're going to have Aries taking over the north node from Taurus. So these are all energies that are really front and center right now. We got a lot of Mars, Venus actions still going on, okay? And it's a carryover from last year. There's a lot of stuff that was going down at the close of last year, last eclipse season, back there at the tail end of 2022, right around the end of November there, okay? And we got that energy really coming back around the bend. This is where the karma is going to be weighed out in that situation. Whatever it was that you were dealing with, all of you were dealing with something. We know this. A lot of you are going to relate to this reading. A lot of the collective will relate to this reading because very much so we have this energy of the South Node, Scorpio South Node in play. We're all being forced to deal with some real 8th house type of action, okay? We're integrating the shadow, and we're all going to face a weighing out of those scales of justice. So it's interesting because I feel like there's a lot of third decanic Libra energy coming in as well. Third decanic Libra is very much more presented as scorpionic energy. So there's this piece coming into play. So if you are third decanic Libra, you might want to check out this read. That's anybody born from October 13th forward in the sign of Libra. You would be considered third decanic. As well, we definitely have to bring in the Ophiuchus energy as well, where we're combining the energies of Scorpio and Sagittarius. So Ophiuchus runs from November 30th through December 18th. Okay, so if you're born in that beginning portion of Sagittarius, you'll probably find a lot of resonance with these messages as well. I know I am feeling the Scorpio energy big time. I am a Libra, I'm a very strong Libran. I have 5 placements in Libra, all in the first house of Aries. But I recently had a big change in my progress chart, and I now have 5 placements all in Scorpio and only 2 left in Libra. So now I got Scorpio Ascendant, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Venus, Scorpio Mars, and I've always had Scorpio Mercury. That's in my natal chart. So I'm feeling this energy. I'm feeling it coming in. I did get an initial download for Scorpio, okay? And what I got was schools in session, all right? So education is about to go down. And I also set up this reading at 5:35 Eastern Standard Time, right? So this is an interesting piece, and something is coming in here around numerology. So we know for those of you that are on Eastern Standard Time, I feel like the energy is being expressed a little differently for you. It all depends on where you are in the world, okay? So have a look at the conversion for that, you know, from Eastern Standard Time, and that'll help you clue into sort of like the numerology and play in your situation and what's going to be going down on your timeline. I know this sounds really out there, but it's what's coming in on the down low. So 5:33, okay, 5 is very much about change. It's about sudden change. It's working with that Uranus energy. It's when something happens real fast, it comes at you from out of the blue, and you got to think quickly too. You got to move on the drop of a dime. But it's coming from a very informed place, and this is for everybody. And it was just 5:33 on the clock again. I finished saying that. This energy coming really strongly in for those of you that are over on, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so some change is happening. There's something that you're being informed about that causes you to make a move, make a bold move, make a move on a drop of a dime. There's something you're shifting. There's something you're switching up. There's some kind of action you're taking. Okay. Um, 33 is also known as the master teacher number. So this is for everybody universally, across the globe. This enemy is in play. Ooh, spicy. This enemy is in play. Okay, this enemy is in play. Maybe we are being taught, maybe we're being educated globally on how we need to stop feeding the enemy. What is that enemy? What is the enemy really? I already have an idea. Just as a Libra, I've weighed this out quite a bit. The enemy is really this lie of division, this lie of separation. How we don't understand that when we act out of our shadows, when we act in self-interest and we don't really respect the connections that we all share and our responsibility to the greater whole, that we can find ourselves on the stinger side of Scorpio. We can find ourselves on the side of fueling further division. And eventually, this ends up dividing us from our source of power within ourselves. So there's something coming through here about the use of power, how to wield power, how to take action in the world. I feel like it's playing out very much so on, of course, the political stage, but um, it's also happening within the micro climate of our lives. Our personal lives, our personal choices that we make. So there's something that's being taught here. I believe we're finding out certain information that's been held back for a while is coming forward now collectively. And I feel like those of you over on, Eastern Standard Time, this information that you're going to get, this education, okay, that's going to come in for you, something that's illuminated for you, it sparks in you some kind of change, okay? There's some kind of change. There's a change in stance, change in position, change of direction. It comes in quickly. It comes in swiftly. Now, when we're looking at this energy, we also have to look at, how that shifts from place to place. So we know that when we're looking at Central Standard Time, it's a 4, okay, because they're 1 hour behind Eastern Standard Time. So you're dealing with matters of security. There's something you're being educated about that is revolving around your sense of security. Maybe places where you're holding on too tightly or you're trying to control matters. So there's something that needs to shift here. And when we're looking at Pacific Standard Time, we are looking at 2 energy, an education about alignment, an education about how to come into alignment, an education about what it means to be in alignment, also what it means to be out of alignment. All right. So we got a few themes here. We got change, we got security, and we have alignment. Okay, these are the elements really in play. I feel like where you're at on the timeline, that sort of is the central focus of the lesson, but everybody is going to be in a position of learning some lessons, And some people are going to be schooling others on these lessons. It all just depends. It all depends on where you're at on your personal timeline. All right. So when we're doing these reads, it was 10:22 on the clock. This is a new beginning about coming into alignment. And with the 22 coming in, that's a building block. Okay. That's when we actually start building. We come together with our appropriate timeline and we start building toward the manifestation, which is really what the 33 energy is all about. It teaches you how to bring things into being. Now, I did get a download about manifestation. So it's interesting that that piece came in just now, because I did get a piece that there's been some people out there in the collective that have been working with a little sex magic, and this is really front and center. And there's something here about there's a need to do some clearing out of the sacral chakra, Svadhisthana, all right? Because when you do those kind of workings and you really allow old lovers to get corded into your power center, when you go to bring your manifestations into being, or when you work your magic, for those of you who are practitioners on the path, your manifestations come out distorted. And this is because the energy is blocked. It's also not operating at full capacity, because when you're still corded into past lovers, there's like this draining that happens. It's almost like, it leaches the power. It also convolutes it, and it makes it lack clarity and focus. So there's a need here to really clear out this energy. There's also the piece of those who have been out there in the collective. It's in the collective, it's in that Scorpio South Node energy really strongly. Okay. So this is just coming through front and center. I believe it's very much out in the collective. I think Scorpios are tapped into this. They can feel this, where people have been, doing sex magic, working on that level, focusing on a particular individual. This is where you get like the flip side of that, because when you have a focus like that, you marry it with your sexual energy. There's a lot of creative power in that, and it can kind of birth an entity all of its own. So some of you out there that are working on this level, you've actually created like spirit attachment. It's your own energy, though, that you called this thing into being. And now it's like corded into you. Something else is running the show. Those of you who are moving in that way will find that you are obsessively clinging to the past. You are obsessively focused on someone. Now it's become an obsession. It's out of balance. So I got big need for clearing the energy, need to do extraction work. Most of you may know that as cord cutting, but I don't believe in just cutting off the energy, because then you still have something that's not yours, tapped into your energy body. The roots are still there. You want to pull things out by the roots. I did provide a video on how to work with this, how to work with extraction. Just look back in the playlist for the 40-day Panchakarma stuff we've done here on BroadCoven. I think I did one for Own Your Fire. I'm trying to remember if I did one on this road opener we just did for the Aries point. I believe I did. So look on those playlists, okay? You will find a video there that can kind of guide you in how to do that. I'm also going to put out a session that's going to come in probably on Saturday, that we will do a release from this energy, a womb clearing, so to speak. Okay, so this will help all of you come back into that space. And when I say womb clearing, it's not just for women. Okay, it's for all of you. Okay, because you have this womb space too. It's the space of your creativity, and it's that second chakra, Svadhisthana. So there's really this need to clear the energy out. A lot of letting go is needing to be done, especially with where there's like this clinginess, almost like it's almost like an octopus with tentacles, just like holding on to things. There's a need to like surrender, release, let go. Also understanding the subconscious motivations, like what leads you to go to that place. So of course we go way, way deep already with the Scorpio energy. Bottom of the deck, we got Ace of Wands, Omiel, the patient god, fertility and multiplicity, protects against despair, helps one be patient. Okay, so I am working with my deck where I merged the arcane bullshit deck, the angel tarot, and the occult tarot all together. So it's wanting to come through for you all. This again, is this what we're talking about? We're talking about the sexuality. You may be finding too, I'm going to kind of go way out there. I'm just going to play with this energy. This energy wants to go deep. It wants to go occult. It wants to go esoteric. So that's where we're going to go on this read. It's what wants to come in for the Scorpio collective. I also feel like you all are tapping into that energy more, like you're getting a lot more downloads. You're finding like clairvoyance coming forward really strongly. I'm really getting this. I just got clairaudience too. So, some of you may find that you're developing new clairs. Those of you who are already really tapped into your psychic awareness, you notice that you have certain new abilities waking up. Some of you with the olfactory, you have olfaction, kind of waking up. You're picking up scents, and you're picking up the scent of people, Ah, hmm. It reminds me of a song by Fela Kuti. Oh, what is it called? Your Yeti smells or something like, what is that? It's about when somebody's done you wrong, somebody's done you wrong, somebody's done you dirty, and they get kind of like a smell to them so you can recognize them. I'll pin it in the comments. I can't remember what the actual name of the song is, but it's something Fela Kuti and Ginger Baker did together. That coming forward, there's a message there. There's a message in that song. So I'll pin something in the comments for you all, okay? But I also feel like this is talking about the ways that we can't really exercise our power with that Ace of Wands when there's still that old D energy tapped into us. That's what I got. And for some of you that maybe have had trouble with conception, those of you who have been trying to conceive, you may find that when you do this work where you clear the old energy out of your womb space, that you're finally able to conceive. And now some of you, for this conception, it's not even talking about a baby in terms of like getting pregnant, physically pregnant. This is more, although for some of you it will be once you clear this energy, okay? But for some of you, this is coming into the area of birthing new beginnings, birthing businesses, birthing avenues for creative exploration, for bringing new things into being that will bring you fulfillment in your life. You may feel blocked up. You may feel your creativity is blocked. You may feel your manifestations are slowed down. Nothing's moving. Nothing's going anywhere. This is because you got all this energy like clogging the channel. It's all this old energy from past lovers that's clogging the avenue of creative manifestation. All right, so there's something about clearing this energy out. We got the Hierophant here as well. Arias teaches astrology, the virtues of the stars and the houses of the planets, and how to understand them. Transforms men with dignities, finds favor with friends and foes. And I find this so interesting because the Hierophant is associated with the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is the North Node right now. So look at the hooks. Look at these hooks. This reminds me these hooks remind me of certain tools that we work with for extraction work when we're working on the energy body. I've worked with tools like this and doing extraction work. You will even find on Kartika Vajras, which is a tool of Kali Ma's, and it is the age of the Kali Yuga. There's like this hook on the end, and it's for hooking up the energy to pull it out at the root. Of course, the Hierophant, this is all about, yes, this needs to be done. This old energy needs to be caught up, bundled up, thrown away. This energy needs to clear out. I feel it's coming in for anybody who has like a heavy energy connected to a past lover. This would be some kind of connection that took you to a really dark place inside of yourself. This is a connection that taught you a lot. There was either like a really deep mental manipulation in this connection, or there was some kind of oppressive energy in this connection. It could be abusive relationships as well. There's intensity here. There's intensity here. It took you into your shadow. The darkness of it may have been a bit delicious at times. And there may have been a lot of sexual exploration as well regarding kind of more the darker side of sexuality, and the ways that sometimes sexuality can be used to process old traumas. This coming forward very strongly. This is we're going pretty deep here with this message. So I understand if it may be too much for some people to take in, but it's what wants to come through. Okay. So this energy is really wanting to be cleared out. And then it's interesting because right after that, we got the Nine of Cups. Okay. For us. Teaches logic, ethics, and the value of herbs and stones. Can make one invisible. Helps one to be intelligent and long-lived. Can recover lost items and find treasures. Yes. And I feel like the lost item is, calling your power back, getting your power to, flood into that space and to be able to inhabit this space of your power center without anybody, draining that space. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is some old stuff you've been nurturing here with a woman breastfeeding a VCR. It's like you've been nurturing this energy. This energy is outdated. Okay. It's time to like get an upgrade. It's time to reboot. I'm picking this up so strongly. You need to like get online, with a whole new download. You can't keep nursing this old energy. It will really hold you back. So there's something about clearing the energy body. It's going really deep. This piece wanted to come in just as an initial download, pretty intense initial download. So what is coming in for the Scorpio collective? I'm just going to shuffle a few times. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, Mercury, Mars, South Node, Saturn, Pluto, or eighth house activity. What is coming toward the Scorpio collective in this eclipse season now through October 14th, 2023, when this energy will really culminate. Okay, we'll see how everything balances out in the scales. Please listen to your intuition. Know what side of the story you rest on as these messages come in. I'm speaking to a very broad collective. We're talking thousands and thousands of people in the Scorpio collective, especially when you consider all the placements that came in and that collectively we're all moving through this Scorpio South Node energy. Don't take anything too personalized. If you get activated, then there's something there that's trying to highlight a truth to you, okay? Because if it's not yours, it's not yours. Don't take it on. Maybe that's a lesson that's coming through for the Scorpio collective as well. If it's not yours, it's not yours. Don't take it on. And that applies whether you're dealing with drama, whether you're dealing with aggression, whether you're dealing with manipulation, Yeah, the world. It's time to bring this to a close. The world, Vapula, makes one skilled in labor and crafts, increases knowledge of philosophy and science. There might be a need to take a more philosophical view, to not take things so seriously, not be chained to the past. I'm just noticing these chains here. They're attached to this, it looks like lioness. Okay, so Leo energy might be front and center in relation to this. There looks like there's been some injury here too, and yet you're holding on to these chains that bind you, right? There's something that needs to be released here, something that you need to be freed from. Let's look at this, okay? What is coming in for the Scorpio collective this eclipse season? What is coming in? What's coming toward Scorpio collective this eclipse season? What is coming in for Scorpio collective this eclipse season? What does Scorpio collective need to know about the energy in play this eclipse season? Four of Cups. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we have some codependent dynamics going on here. Four of Cups, Malahil, the god deflecting evil, healing capacity, protection from weapons, safety in travel. Okay, this is what we got with the Four of Cups here. And coming up is a crossing energy, but it's heading south, is the Ten of Cups, Fur. All right. Creates love between man and woman, creates thunder and great storms, gives answers on divine secrets. So this kind of goes back to the message I was talking about, the download in the beginning, which came in from the East, and this makes sense. East is associated with air element. I did bring in this Libra piece, so I do feel like this is what's being balanced in the karmic scales right now. There's something that's being illuminated. There's something that's being illuminated that's coming forward. It's about love between a man and a woman, or some connection between a man and a woman, something about what is being revealed. It creates a storm, okay? A storm that you just need to ride that out. Maybe this is finally, you've been asking spirit for illumination into a situation. Maybe you've had some suspicions about a situation. But you haven't known what's going on. You feel like you've been out of the loop. Maybe you've been praying on this. Maybe you've been doing some ritual around this. Maybe you've been asking for some truth. Some truth comes in. Some truth comes in. It sours the Ten of Cups. We know this because what you thought was fulfilling is starting to head into, a nosedive here. It was on the downturn. So some people are going to be getting some kind of karma. It's like false happiness is sort of going to be revealed for what it is. There may be some level of codependency in this situation, like an attachment to something, maybe being attached to something, nursing something for the wrong reasons, nursing something for the wrong reasons. Four of Cups, it also makes me think of, kind of closing yourself off to what would bring you healing. That Spirit's trying to give you some kind of offer to pour into yourself. Maybe pour into yourself instead of pouring into unhealthy connections, that just keep you in a place of not wielding your power in a healthy way. That's what I got, you know? This can also be like needing some kind of outside validation. So sort of just putting up with situations that aren't really that fulfillment you're looking for. So you can just have some kind of outer approval. But there's something here that's out of balance. The power is out of balance in a relationship. This is being revealed. Again, I feel like a lot of this has to do with old energy from old lovers, cording up into your power center. For a lot of you, you need to do this clearing work. You need to wash that man or woman right out of your hair, Some of you might be, I think I just need to like shave my head. High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, Dantalian, teaches art and science, knows the secret thoughts of all and can change them, causes love, shows vision of the world, okay? And yeah, we see this here. This news comes in, it brings injury to somebody. It brings injury to somebody, possibly a masculine. We got Galaxy Dad here. I also feel this is a bit of tough love from Daddy Dom Saturn. Okay. So Saturn, the father of time, it's like, there's protection here. There's protection here in finding out this truth. And this is sort of like, what time is on that clock? Huh. Interesting. Interesting. 12:25. 3, 7, 10. Yeah, this news brings an ending. This news brings an ending, but the ending is necessary. The ending is necessary because it brings a new beginning. There's something that needs to be seen that hasn't been seen. We know that there's like a sense of martyrdom here. All right. There's also a sense of being wounded when this news is received. This is realizing you don't have so much control as you thought you did. Okay. There's something that comes in here. I don't know why, but this image here is giving me like major tryptophobia. So it's also making me think of like there's so many holes here. Okay, maybe there's so many holes in a story. Maybe some people who've tried to control this news from coming forward are recognizing that it's not possible. This is like too many holes in the story. It's like now the truth is pouring out, and it's sort of like dealing with the cleanup work around that. This is also making me think of leaky shakti. Leaky shakti. I mean, I'm really looking at this almost as a representation of that sacral chakra. It's just like leaky energy, needing to pull that out. Look at all these cords. Look at some of you might have a lot of old lovers energy really tapped into that chakra center. Look at all those spaces there that just siphoning the energy. Two of Wands. Ipos tells of the past and future, can make one intelligent and bold. So here's that piece, coming in on the Eastern Standard Time. It's like you get the news, you're getting some kind of news about the past. It comes through. When this news comes through, it gets you looking at your future in a different way. Now it's making you bold to take action towards your future. So this actually serves you well. I think the news can be wounding, right? The news can be wounding. But be careful of falling into victimization with whatever comes forward. It's about you getting a new view of a situation. Maybe in some cases, it's about you recognizing where you didn't have the correct view in a situation. Your view was an error. This is about reroute. It's looking at your future in a new way. It's going to be different than you thought it would be. All right. But it makes you intelligent and bold, like informed. Being forewarned is forearmed. And if you know what you're dealing with, like where you've been in the dark, now things are being illuminated for you. Now you actually can work with something. So it's this truth that comes in that empowers you to look at your future in a new way, and it makes you bold. It makes you daring. Now you don't have to worry so much about caring for other people's feelings, especially with the nature of this news. We know this news causes wounding. There's a sense of martyrdom here. Okay. There's a sense of taking a fall when this news comes in, or that you fell for something, or somebody pulled a fast one over on you, or in some way you compromised yourself. Maybe you've been tolerating certain situations, certain people for a while now. You've been giving them the benefit of the doubt. You've been trying to give them space to be honest. The truth is leaked. I got this leaky energy. The truth is leaked. When the truth is leaked, then it actually creates a scenario where it has the reverse effect. Though it stings at first, it's kind of like, again, I got this little bit of this piece. This has been coming in lately that I had recently in a download, that like a tower was going to fall, but it would be really anticlimactic, like sort of like, okay. It's almost like the investment isn't even there anymore. So when it comes out, it's just like, maybe this person did this, in fact, to try to cause injury as well. There was like this desire to create some kind of injury. But I feel this big backfire energy coming through right now for anybody who's operated like that. there's been a lack of vision here, and there's something about really needing to understand the part of responsibility on our past. Because when I think of high priestess energy, I think high priestess makes all things sound, right? So a high priestess exercises sound judgment, knows how to be balanced in nature, knows how to look at both sides, okay? And there's something about this. This is really coming up for a lot of the collective around, there is a spell work piece here. And I know some people don't believe in spell work, but spell work can be an important part of alchemy. And part of the most alchemical aspect of spell work, that is beneficial for one's growth on that path, is when you do unconscious workings. And then you have to take responsibility for your actions and the way that that actually schools you. Okay, so some people are getting this education who've been moving like that. Ultimately, you have to own your own energy, all right? But we see that there's some kind of new beginning here. There's a rejuvenation that comes in here. There's a rejuvenation through this cleansing, through looking at the truth and also understanding your part in it, and owning your own actions in the situation, okay? It's about pouring into yourself with the Ace of Cups. There's some kind of illumination that comes here. Tell me about this Ace of Cups. This is a new beginning, all right? It's a new beginning in love, a new beginning on offer. When the aces come in, these are opportunities, okay? It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to take the opportunity. You have to be able to step into the opportunity. To take the Ace of Cups, you have to be in a place where you are open to receive. You have to be ready for love. If you're in this like Four of Pentacles energy, you're already kind of guarded. You're already kind of shut down. You're not really open to receive because you're still clinging to the past. You understand why now it's so important to clear out this old energy. So Ace of Cups is a summer timing card. So we're looking at tail end of June through the tail end of September. All right. So what is this new beginning, this opportunity in love that's coming forward for the Scorpio collective in the summertime? What does this look like? Well, it's something coming in the shadow, and it's Nine of Swords, Larii. Causes great battles and wars, causes wounds to putrefy. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who are dealing with the backside of something. There could be a Sagittarius involved in this situation. I'm just noticing the archer there, okay? There's some kind of worry here. There's some kind of stress. There's some kind of anxiety. There's also some kind of conflict. There's definitely conflict here. Something has been left to sit too long. It makes me think of the I Ching, um, hexagram coup, work on what has been spoiled. There's something about this has sat too long. This grudge energy has sat too long. This has gone on too long. Too much has been hidden too long. So when the truth comes out, it has a really damaging effect. And I actually see it as suppressing this new beginning in love. There's some new beginning in love that is hoped for, but this new beginning is not possible until these wounds are addressed because they're putrefying. The situation is spoiled. The situation is spoiled. There's something going down right now that causes great worry, causes anxiety, causes sleepless nights, causes guilty conscience because something's been left to sit too long. And it's interesting because guilt is much like this energy I was talking about, how you can focus on something so much that it creates an entity all its own that haunts you. People don't realize, people talk about demons a lot. Okay. You want to know what demons are? Demons are the aspects of yourself that you don't address and that you're not conscious of. That's a demon. You create your demons. You create your demons. This is all about big need to do purification. It's coming through really strongly. Tell me about this Nine of Swords. What is this worry around for the Scorpio collective? What is this fear that they need to address? What is this work that needs to be done around this great battle, this conflict, these wounds that need to be addressed that have been like swept under the rug? I can't make it up. Eight of Pentacles. This is literally doing the work. You're being asked to do the work. Stop letting things sit and fester. Do the work. Stop playing games. Do the work. There's like a cautionary piece here, okay? If you're somebody that you've caused, some kind of harm, or you've done something that's out of line, or you've been at the source of some kind of conflict or drama, you got to look at what your part is in that. I want to look at all aspects of that. Okay. So let's say that you've been dealing with this coming at you. Okay. People have been attacking you. You feel attacked. You feel on guard. You feel this is in some way threatened your security. Okay. Maybe you feel like people have been messing with a relationship of yours, or maybe you feel like people have been messing with your financial stability, causing problems for you in your work, or causing some other kind of instability for you. Maybe you're feeling just this general disruption to your sense of belonging because you're in so much conflict with people. Okay. And you have a lot coming at you, but you can honestly say, like, hey, man, I've just been doing my thing. So I don't understand why all this energy is coming at me. How are you still holding space for the energy? Where are you not cutting off the energy? Where do you need to put down a boundary line? You got to own your piece. You can't continue to hold space and engage with the energy. Then you also have to look at what is that piece inside of you, because we have to look at this that came in. Saturn is, he's all about education. All right. He's all about teaching harsh lessons. He's all about showing you the work that needs to be done. And there's something here that you need to see, right? We had Saturn go into Pisces. So there's this fluidity present here. You have to look at something from a different emotional angle. There's some piece here where you've moved more into this like martyr mindset emotionally. And there's some way that you're not recognizing that that's a form of emotional manipulation. All right. So there's something that you got to look at here, something that needs to be addressed here. There's work to be done here. All right. It's about having the courage to look at that place inside of you that's preventing you from doing what you need to do to take a stand for yourself, walk away, cut the cord, and move forward cleanly. All right. So what's keeping you engaged? That's your demon to wrestle with. Now, if you're somebody who, acted out of pocket, or you caused some kind of injury and you're trying to just sweep things under the rug, likewise, you have to look at why you're having trouble manifesting what you're wanting to manifest, because there's some kind of blockage here, some kind of blockage. And if it's not evident right now, it's coming in. This is a predictive read. And we aren't really looking at the balancing of the scales until we do hit that Aries point when Libra's in the South Node. Then we're going to see, did you do the work? It's sort of like saying, don't wait for that time to come. Start doing this work right now. We already know there's wounds that have festered. There's grudges. There's fights that have gone on too long. There's stalemates. There's cleanup work to do here. And you have to own your part. And if it's time for you to get up from a table or walk away from a situation, then that's what you need to do. And you need to stick with it. You need to stop holding space for it, and you need to stop engaging with it. And if you're the person who's acting out like this, you need to recognize on some level that you're acting out from a place of personal wounding, some kind of trauma, something that is acting up inside of you, probably a very young part of you that needs to be addressed. And there's healthier ways to address that. You can go get therapy, you can go get yourself some kind of support, and you can start actually addressing these matters. If you're dealing with some kind of addiction that's causing you to act out in unhealthy ways, then maybe it's time to go and look at getting support for that, going to some kind of support group. If you're dealing with matters of codependency, same thing. Was there alcoholism in your family? Do you need to go to Al-Anon? Are you in a caregiver capacity? Do you feel like you have to overly care for people, and just kind of like put up the crumbs they throw your way? And have you allowed other people's opinions, ideas about you to start to really define who you are? There's this need to really step into a place of selfhood, self mastery through educating yourself, about your piece. What is the shadow work that you still have to do that you have not done? You cannot get around it. And until you do address this stuff, you're going to be haunted by it with the Nine of Swords. You're going to be eaten up by it. It's going to become a hungry ghost. I'm telling you, that's the energy coming through. It's coming through for all of the collective because we're all in the Scorpio South Node. But if you have strong Scorpio placements, you have to know what side of this you're on. And there are no victims here. Okay. So if you're dealing with a situation where you're being done dirty and you're holding space for this and you're hanging around for it, that's your fault. That's your fault. You need to move on from it. You need to have the courage to move on from it and to stand up for yourself and stop engaging it. Direct your energy in a new way. Where can you start doing some work that will actually lead to progress in your life instead of continuing to engage in this stuff? Ooh, that just kind of like flew out onto the floor. What do we got here? Madam Rufflebonnet. Now, some of you have, been kind of playing this like goody two shoes role too long, you know, doing the right thing, keeping everybody happy, towing the line. And, you're pretending like what's going down is okay with you, and it's not. Stop giving people so much room to like walk all over you. Like it's time to, speak up, speak out. There's something going on here. There's a choice that needs to be made with the lovers here. Okay. Sephar causes women to love men and brings them together in love, can make women barren. Again, there's that womb healing piece I was talking about. All right. Some of you, again, I have to say, some of you have done some kind of like sex magic, something like this. You're on the backside of it. Now it comes back around the bend. It's like, be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. Or you moved in a very manipulative way. And because you were operating out of your lower nature, out of shadow, you're finding that the results aren't all they are cracked up to be. Okay. And again, when I'm looking at this piece of can make women barren, it's like what I was talking about with that womb healing work. Okay. Clearing out the womb space. Barren in the sense of if you've been having trouble conceiving and you're trying to have a baby, you want to look at energetics. Okay. Maybe you've tried many different treatments. Maybe you've tried many different approaches with this. Maybe you've seen the doctors and tried all kinds of groundbreaking alternative new treatments. You've seen holistic practitioners. Nothing's working. It's energetic. It's energetic. You got to like create the room for this new energy, this soul's energy to come in. You can only do that if you let go of the old energy you're still holding on to. All right. But this is also about the way it's blocking up your ability to manifest. All right. And I was talking about schooling, and now we have the card that's all about schooling, getting schooled. So, who might be getting some education? You could be educating a page of pentacles. Okay. This is like earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that, needs to get schooled a little bit. Somebody with strong earth sign placements in their chart might be feeling this. It could be, something about self-worth, value, what you value at the end of the day, coming forward very strongly, could be coming strongly forward for Taurus because we also have the Hierophant, which also represents Taurus. And we are doing that North Node work, okay? So this is kind of like, I see it's like a systems check at this point. It's sort of like seeing where you're at right now in this process of moving up into that Taurus North Node. Where are you still not valuing yourself? Where is your loyalty in question? What are you aligning with? What are you having allegiance to at this time? This is also like the desire for friendship and reconciliation, but not understanding that um, you can't just sweep things under the rug. Certain things need to be addressed, and there is blocking energy around reconciliation here with the Seven of Wands. Rael, the expected God, liberation, deliverance from enemies, both visible and invisible. Okay. So there's some blockage going on here. A lot of you Scorpios are blocking some earth sign energy. Somebody has strong earth sign placements in their chart. You know, you felt like this person was kind of immature in how they dealt with things. Potentially could be a Taurus just because the significator's up, but it doesn't have to be. Okay. This also could be around the desire to have a child, you know, and getting educated on what needs to happen, the energy that needs to be cleared in order to be able to conceive. It's really clearing out the old energy from past lovers and just the past in general. You know, you got to open up the space, you got to let go. Once you do that, you know, things will clear up for you. I also feel like this is a time where you're going to know who you need to block with that Seven of Wands. You're going to know where you need to sort of like, you know, hold your space, put down some boundary lines. Enemies will be revealed to you, right? You'll know who your loyal people are too. Okay. So it's all coming out in the wash. Any further guidance about this for Scorpio? It looks like some pretty heavy duty work to do here. It looks like a balancing of scales for the Scorpio collective, and it's really a mixed bag, right? Some of you are going to have stuff coming at you, some accountability stuff coming at you, and some of you are blocking energies, all right? It's half and half. You're going to have to pick what side you're on. Some of you, it's a little bit of both, you know? Some of you, it's a little bit of both. All right. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah. So we do have this energy here of the provider. Okay. So it's starting to come up into the upright. And this makes me feel like there's been a mask that's been worn up until this time. Like people aren't being genuine. They're not acknowledging. I love this. Look at this Ace of Cups there. I love how the symbolism's coming through. Remember, the Ace of Cups, there is a new beginning in love. This new beginning you want to see, it's blocked. The reason why it's not being provided is there's still masks that are being born. Masks that are being born. Well, look, even the baby has a mask on it. You know, it's sort of like masks that are being born. It's sort of like even what you're manifesting right now, what's being birthed into your life right now. It's not genuinely aligned with what you really should be stepping into. It's like a misfire. You know, it's that again, it's that creative channel is blocked up. There's a need for purification. Also, again, you know, if you're wondering why you can't conceive or why your blessings seem to be blocked, this is why. There's something here you're not seeing. You're wearing a mask. There's some kind of false presentation. There's also something, you're feeding the elephant in the room, you know, instead of like really calling it out, you know, and addressing what you don't want to see. There's something that needs to be acknowledged here, and masks need to come off and people need to get real. And there's also a need to like recognize, this makes me think of burglars, you know, with this type of mask here. It also makes me think of Mushmouth for some reason from Fat Albert. Okay. So maybe you're not really saying what needs to be said. You know, maybe you're not speaking what needs to be said clearly. Maybe you're trying to address things in some kind of subversive way or some kind of passive aggressive way or dancing around something when really that doesn't cut it. You know, you have to be clear. You have to be vulnerable. You don't get to get around this without being vulnerable, without really being vulnerable and being clear. And especially where you're desiring some kind of new beginning or reconciliation or healing. It's not possible unless you deal with that one thing that you don't want to deal with. And it will be dealt with, or else this blessing is going to be blocked. You know, we do see that the sun here, it was in reverse, you know, when it came out. This is on the upturn, all right, which it can go upright and it can get in the position it needs to be in. But in order for this to happen, certain things need to be illuminated. and they need to be illuminated in a very clear way. And you also need to kind of like turn on the light within you and, shine that light in some of those dark hidden corners of the mind and look at the way that you're kind of sabotaging yourself. Okay. Gathers spirits at tombs and changes the places of the dead. Yeah, this is like trying to compartmentalize, trying to like, okay, I don't really want to look at this thing that happened back there. So I'm just gonna kind of like put this aside, I'm gonna move this over here. Yeah, but now it's like there's so many skeletons, okay? And they're all tumbling out of the closet. It's 55:08 on the clock when I said that. Again, that 5 energy, there a lot's gonna change. It may look one way now. It ain't going to stay like that, though. There's a lot coming forward and things are going to shift. When are you going to address this? Look at this fucking hourglass. How long have you been letting this sit here? And there is this like moth energy here, a moth to a flame, it's like this thing you desire, look at you reaching for it. It's flying further away from you and it's about to be destroyed by flying into this flame. If, this isn't cleared out, this is like the records of what's been done, it's like the karmic records of what's been done. You may think this is buried. You may think this is hidden. It's coming back to life. It's coming back to life. It will be addressed. There's something from the past that's coming back to life. The dead is rising, all right? And there is an opportunity for transformation and a new beginning. But, if you try to get away with this, it's just not going to happen. That moth is going to fly right into that flame. You think you're rushing into that sun, to this, time of great fulfillment. You got to be careful. It's got like Icarus trying to fly to the sun. This like egocentricity like can really trip you up. Like things can look good right now, but pride always comes before a fall. So this is something to be really aware of here, right? The more you let this sit, the more you don't address it, the more those scales are going to be in the downturn, all right? Or you can take the action you need to take. It's half and half for all of you. Some of you are setting yourselves free. You're getting some news coming in about somebody who did you wrong. You're taking action. You're stepping on a brand new path. You're closing your old cycles with the Hulia, the Fool, the Exalting God. Will and new beginnings assist with difficult and great undertakings. Again, Sagittarius vibes coming forward really strong here, okay? So some of you are taking the leap. Some of you are taking a leap. And because of what I brought in the beginning, Ophiuchus may be taking a leap, all right, in this situation. They're ready to hedge their bets. They got their will in place. They're ready to take on the difficulties. They're ready to do the work that needs to be done. They got a new view of the future with the 2 of Wands here, Jaleel, the helping God, love and wisdom, victory over those who would attack you. All right. So some of you are getting it right. Some of you are getting it right and you're moving forward. And others of you who are trying to avoid this, it ain't going to turn out well. 57 on the clock. When I said that, that breaks down to a 3-3. Okay. So there's that 33 again. There's no way for this to be avoided. I just want to get this overarching theme. Don't try to avoid the work, man. Not during a karmic balancing cycle. It'll really shoot you in the foot. Okay. You want to avoid trying to avoid the work. You got to deal with the elephant in the room. There's no avoiding it. Look at this. Leo. Again, I brought that Leo energy in. This is King in reverse. Okay. This is not good. This is egocentricity. This is being full of yourself. It's not taking accountability. I also feel like there could be a Leo energy connected to this, something that needs to be addressed here. All right. Overarching theme for Scorpio, this eclipse season. I can't lie. I can't make it up. Look at that imagery. Twice you have this imagery. Something you thought was buried is coming back to be rectified. You're either going to do the work or you're going to get worked. You're either going to take the education or you're seriously about to get schooled. It's up to you.